What is the best thing about being unattractive? People assume your successes are based on your skills. Hi boss. Good God, you're hideous. Get out of my office. I wanted to talk to you about the assistant manager position that just opened. It's yours. Just leave or put a mask on or something. A little late, but there is a girl at my college known for sleeping around a lot. There are a bunch of rumors surrounding her, but I know for a fact that she has taken 2 random guys up to her room on the same night. I worked as a doorman at the time. She wasn't the best student by any means, choosing to party over studying or anything like that. About a year ago, I was drunk at a bar and saw her there. She saw me and we talked for a bit and she asked to dance. I'm not the most attractive person by any means, so this had never happened to me. I took her offer. Why not? Could be fun. After about 4 songs worth of grinding or so, she turns around and gives me this wide-eyed look. She quickly says I have to go and rushes out the door as quick as she could. I assumed she had a moment of clarity and left. I met back up with friends, told them what happened, and we all left a bit later. The next day there is a huge party and apparently she didn't go. People were saying she wanted to study instead. In fact, she didn't go to the bar or any party for the rest of the semester. She made Dean's List that semester and is on track to make Dean's List this semester too. When I talk about it to my friends, they say she probably hooked up with someone else that night or she went out a different night, but I saw her look of shock. I saw her directly leave the bar. I know she didn't go to the party that she would normally go to the very next night. She hit rock bottom by simply dancing with me, and it was enough to truly change her life. Damn dude, that's like a superpower. To bring out that level of self-loathing in someone is downright impressive. Your face changes lives. I'd be so proud of that if I were in your shoes. He's is to women what Burger King was to Robert Downey Jr. What really happened is that she suddenly felt like she was about to shit herself, but there was a case, so she ran back home but didn't make it in time. As she sat on the toilet still covered in her own shit and in a drunken haze of regret and shame, she realized she needed to turn her life around. I like this explanation more. It's easy to create your character on every RPG. I feel sorry for anyone who managed to make themselves in the Mount and Blade Warband character creation. When you're so ugly even mountain bandits won't drink from your skull. Whenever people seem really interested in you and there seems to be no obvious reason, they want something. You might not know what they want right away, but you know they want something. That's true always. Never have to wonder, does she like me? I really like this girl. I wonder if she feels the same way. Oh, wait, of course she doesn't. If you're an introvert, less people will make an effort to talk to you. That's true, and it's even more true if you have an ugly resting bitch face. Then even strangers in need, for example having to borrow a phone from someone, won't talk to you. I wouldn't let anyone borrow my phone that I don't know and walked up to me randomly. Too many scams of people doing this and bolting with the phone, be it ugly or attractive girl, guy. Being ugly, if I ever have an attractive girl come up to me 10/10 times I know she's in sales and she's trying to pull the sex sells. So I mostly ignore them, like they would an ugly guy at a bar. Being invisible in public. I am completely ignorable. This is great for people watching and generally not being bothered. I don't feel much pressure to put a lot of effort into my appearance, so I can wear comfortable clothes and become visual background noise. Keeping my head shaved is not only low maintenance, it makes me look slightly intimidating combined with my beard and stocky frame. It can be lonely, but as an introvert it is an advantage to not be obligated to social interactions I don't initiate. I wouldn't say I'm hideous, but I'm on the lower side of average. I have bad hair and very little interest in makeup or fashion, so I also don't regularly go out of my way to pretty myself up. I used to have nice boobs, but after breastfeeding a child they kind of deflated. I know, because he told me, that my husband loves me because I'm smart, very funny, capable, strong-willed, and quirky. Though I haven't let myself go, I'm pretty certain he isn't going to leave me if I put on a few pounds. And since I rarely dressed up in the first place, me bumming around in pajama bottoms all the time isn't out of the ordinary. I have never been catcalled. No one has ever been surprised that I can drive a stick shift or a motorcycle. Random people don't tell me to smile whilst I'm walking. I'm not afraid to walk alone at night. I have never been harassed by strangers. I have such a prominent RBF, even people waving signs on the street shy away from getting in my face. I have never been asked out in my life. I have pursued every boyfriend I've ever had, which is admittedly not many. I have been turned down plenty, though. I have never been hit on by either sober or drunk people. When I tried online dating, I got 1,000 replies to my profile. Once I sent a few my picture, I never heard from them again. No one ever offers to help me with anything, even if I'm visibly struggling. I must ask, and am often ignored. Before I was married, guys would make yuck faces when asked what they thought about me. Overall, being unattractive has been a bonus for me. I've never had anyone pander to me. I know all my friends like me for me, and I'm not held to the same standards a lot of women are by society. I was a late bloomer, so not being asked out in high school was nice. And when I did get interested, I was mature enough to not let rejection shatter me. I ended up married to a nice guy with fantastic hair who was nice enough to pass that hair on to our beautiful daughter. I live a comfortable life and no one assumes I sold myself to get here. All in all, it's pretty great. And I say you can cook. Man, this made me so curious how you look. It's cool you found someone and are happy, though. Also fuck those guys who made a yuck face lol. They were young, I don't hold it against them. I'm not particularly attractive myself. From a man's perspective, I can't tell you how many girls I didn't find attractive at first, but once I got to know them they turned me on like crazy. Also works the other way. Can't tell you how many hot chicks I knew, but when they open their mouth yuck face lol. Had full tier 1 and tier 2 paladin set in World of Warcraft, vanilla. I would have never achieved this, if I were attractive. Filthy casual. I had a full tier 3 human mage in vanilla. God, I was lonely. Full. Holy shit. I don't think I ever actually got an XP piece in vanilla. I am a normal looking to slightly unattractive guy working as a teacher. When a woman expresses interest in me, I can basically be 100% sure it is actually based on who I am and not just looks, money, because I certainly don't have any of that. There's nothing to lose. Can't dance? Fuck it. Get out there and dance like you want to. You aren't gonna spoil any chances of getting laid. Karaoke night? Eminem and or Journey is calling your name. Who gives a shit if you suck? You're getting turned down 20 times tonight anyways. But you only need one girl to think that guy really owns his unattractive awkwardness with a self-aware confidence I actually find hot, and then you're in. No sense of entitlement instilled at an early age. You would be surprised. I think some kids, in order to protect themselves from bullying and abuse due to bad looks, create a narcissistic, warped view of themselves to be perfect and have no flaws. I've met a very ugly guy who was convinced that he was the utterly beautiful. It was only when I met one of his closer friends and discovered his history of being bullied, often due to his looks, did I realize what must have happened psychologically. My boyfriend doesn't get jealous when I go out with my male friends because he knows I'm too unattractive for them to hit on me. Edit, I'm not in an abusive relationship. We're just both aware I'm not very good looking. I don't necessarily see it as a bad thing. No social life. It costs money to maintain friendship, like visiting the cinema, go to clubs. Internet friends are more fun, just get drunk and play some games. A lot of people are saying this in this thread, but many of my friends are really unattractive and have never had a girlfriend. I'm not sure how ugly you guys are, but it might not be your looks keeping people away from you. In fact, I'm more likely to hang out with those guys because my other friends are a lot more busy going on dated and getting married, having kids at this point in life. I might get a lot of hate for asking, but is anyone really ever completely unattractive? Because in all honesty, I cannot think of a single person I know who doesn't have at least one attractive trait. As someone who plays Magic as a hobby, yes, I played Magic at a local game store once. I consider myself a nerd. In retrospect, I am like a 2/10 on the nerd scale. I just didn't have the proper perspective. I forgot that people like the Simpsons comic book guy are actually based off real people.